Welcome to the TubeBuddy Express podcast, brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 tool to make your YouTube life easy. Each week, we discuss how you can utilize TubeBuddy to enhance your YouTube experience and make your life as a creator easier. And now, here's your host, Dusty Porter.
Hello, people of the internet. My name is Dusty Porter, the host of this wonderful show here, TubeBuddy Express, where every single Friday I come at you with an 8 to 10 minute actionable episode to help you improve your YouTube content and in turn hopefully help you get your message heard, get your voice spread out all over the interwebs, more specifically over on YouTube. As you can tell, we are brought to you this week, as always, by the fine folks over at TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy. It is the tool that I use. I call it the Swiss Army knife of YouTube tools. I was doing something this past week where I needed to change a link in the description of, let's say, all of my videos. And so I used the bulk edit tool to select that link, go in and replace it with a new link. And if you are an affiliate marketer or if you're doing things like that, that bulk edit tool can be a lifesaver. And TubeBuddy has a feature where you can go and see estimated how much time TubeBuddy has saved you, and it has now saved me over 3,000 working hours. Again, it's just an estimation, but even if it's half that, that is amazing. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description and check out TubeBuddy. All right, so we are going to be talking today about all things demonetization. So we all know that feeling when you upload a video and you monetize the video and then you come back a couple of hours later and you see that dreaded yellow money symbol right there on your video manager, and that means one thing and one thing only: your video has been demonetized. Now, for the most part, it is the automated algorithm that YouTube is using to actually decide whether or not your video should and could be monetized. So for the majority of the time, it's done this incorrectly, okay? Now, if your video is demonetized because it is against terms of service or you've done something that YouTube doesn't want you to do, then yes, you don't need to request a review, and everything that I'm saying after this point is not going to be applicable to you. But for the most part, YouTube is trying to figure out the whole YouTube demonetization thing. I've actually spoken with my YouTube contact multiple times, and I've told him that literally almost every single one of my videos after a few hours gets demonetized. Now, I've figured it out and I've worked around it, and I'm going to tell you the tactics and strategies I use to handle demonetization. Now, the worst thing you can do is go on the internet, type up some big long forum post raging and being irritated with YouTube. Yes, it's irritating. Yes, I want YouTube to fix it. Yes, they are working on it, okay? Let them know there's an issue, let them know this is happening, and then move on, okay? This isn't going to be a detriment to you in the long run. It's only going to make YouTube better as they improve the quality of their systems and their robots that are handling this, okay? So let's talk about what I do when I get a video demonetized. Now, because I know that YouTube is having issues right now with demonetization when this happens, the step you have to take is obviously you have to request a manual review. Now, when you request a manual review, it will let you know that until your video reaches 1,000 views, it really won't get seen by a YouTube staffer to help review it manually in order to get your video monetized. I have found historically, again, I'm saying this on February, what is this, February 15th, 16th now as I'm recording this. So to let you know, this could change in the future, but as of right now, that kind of standard of 1,000 views doesn't necessarily hold up. So if your if your video does not have 1,000 views, or if you don't think it'll get 1,000 views, don't worry about it. You still want to request a manual review. Okay, eventually a YouTube staffer will get around to it. They've got people working around the clock to take care of this because YouTube wants this fixed as much as you do. So go in your video manager, click on the video, go to edit, and then under the monetization tab, you're going to see a link that says request a manual review. And this is where it's going to say, you got to have so many views, this and that. Don't worry about that. If your video is indeed your content and it shouldn't have been demonetized, request that manual review and then go from there. Now, what should you do? Because a lot of people are asking me, they're saying, well, Dusty, I'm losing out on a lot of money because in the first 24 to 48 hours is when a lot of my videos get the majority of their views. If I'm a vlogger, if I'm this or that. Okay, so here's what you do. You list your video as unlisted, or when you publish it, you don't publish it and you don't make it public yet. You monetize it. You see if it gets demonetized, And then if it does, then you go ahead and go through the review process. It may, you may need to schedule your videos out a couple of days in advance, knowing that, hey, I want to release this video on Wednesday, but I'm going to release it as unlisted on Monday to see if it gets demonetized to get the review process going. You can then get them to review it, get it monetized, and then publish it and make it public, and then not miss out on any of those monetized views, okay? Now, this strategy, this tactic is something that is completely okay with YouTube. I actually had a YouTube contact tell me this may be what I have to do. And so, if that's what you're getting into, you need to understand this. Now, when it comes to demonetization, people are under the impression that YouTube is doing this on purpose. They're not. So let me explain to you what's happening. They have an automated system that goes through and flags videos for demonetization. They are right now currently in this system. They are trying to err on the side of caution. They're trying to be very cautious with the system, with the adpocalypse that has happened the past couple of years, with a lot of the bigger YouTubers making boneheaded mistakes. YouTube is trying to be very kind, be very generous to the advertisers and do what they should have done a long time ago, and they're trying to vet the system. They're trying to vet the system of spammers, of people who are releasing content not appropriate for audiences, and that's going to make YouTube and other creators, by the way, look horrible in the end. So with this being said, YouTube is doing the right thing. They are vetting this out. They are trying to make sure that in the future, 2018, 19, 2020, down the road, that YouTube creators who are doing it right are set up for success. So understand why stuff is getting demonetized. I understand it's frustrating. I understand it's a lot more work at times for you, but demonetization doesn't correlate directly into YouTube trying to be against you making money as a creator, because that is not the case. So remember, in recap, what you need to do is go to your video manager, go to edit video, go to request a manual review. Now, obviously, if you don't have monetization enabled on your channel, or if you don't meet the new requirements of 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time in the past year, this does not relate to you. But when you do get to that point, which by the way, I think all of you will, this is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to go in, request a manual review, and if you don't want to lose out on that initial, I guess you would say 24 to 48 hour initial revenue from the initial views, post it as an unlisted video, go ahead and monetize, see if it's going to be demonetized, and go from there. Now, I want to encourage you guys as you go forward this week and next week, you're going to run into roadblocks. Demonetization is just going to be one of them. If you are a creator who loves to do what you're doing and you're passionate about getting your message out there, getting your message spread, you're not going to worry about making money. That's going to come because you're going to be successful because of how passionate you are. Demonetization is not going to be the only roadblock. You're going to have days, you're going to have weeks. I had a week a couple of weeks ago where my views were a little down, I was a little depressed, and then the next week my views went up almost double. It's one of those things to where this whole YouTube thing is not going to happen overnight, okay? There's going to be things that get in the way. I want to encourage you this week to put a smile on your face, hit that record button, get in front of the camera, because your message deserves to be out there. Thank you guys for listening to the show each and every week. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to listen to me over on my other podcast where I interview creators just like you, YouTube Creators Hub, every single Wednesday. This one comes out every single Friday. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your iTunes player, on your Spotify player, on your Google Play player, wherever you consume your podcast. Thanks again. Talk to you next week.